Why is stereo not a sound? I want to explain you very understandably why the word stereo is not for sound. So that's the stereo connector, and as you can clearly see, it having 3 places to connect to it something. So on me I'm having a headset which is stereo. So headset having 2 speakers, left and right, and physically these things which I'm calling speakers having 2 cables each of them to make it work. But the stereo connector, as I showed you, is having 3 connectors, which means I can connect here 3 cables. So this device is not possible to connect here correctly. To connect it here correctly, it must have 4 connectors. For example, like this one, which is existing today as a mobile headset with microphone. So as you can definitely say, here is 4 places to connect something here. So the stereo is used for making a human to hear, for example, something only in one ear, and either nothing on another ear or way less than in another one. So this idea is understandable, so that I hear something only here, or somehow interesting them together. But to make so, humans must being used this kind of technology for it. If you're not getting what I mean, I will explain once again. For example, the first place to connect something can be used for plus of left speaker the second one for minus of left speaker, the third one for plus of a right speaker, and the last fourth one is for minus of right speaker. That's very easy, in my opinion, to understand. So that's why stereo is not a sound. This connector is having another usage. It is using in video technology. So not only the connector is the problem, but the technology which is behind it. Behind of this thing lies the stereo processing. Stereo channels and other things. All of them which are not for sound. So, in order to make this idea what everyone using stereo for, humanity simply must use two mono channels, each of which will be a container for each of these things. So the sound technology which allows you to make sound in both ears different must have looked like not as stereo but as something which is not existing and only theoretically explained by me right now. It must have been some technological solution which allows to me to store two different mono channels connected together, each of which obviously would have two cables to send material into it. But this technology is not existing, and therefore people having only one choice, and this choice is one mono channel. Which is something like this. You're recording one sound. Obviously, I don't need more. I just want to record this thing, and for it, mono container is a perfect candidate. It does not having difference in my ears, but it is absolutely correct sound. So that's how simple the explanation. Why is the word stereo, which is this which everyone is having, or if not everyone, then almost everyone. Why is the stereo is not a sound? The problem of using stereo, which I remind you, 3 connectors in sound, is that 2 cables in it are connected with each other, and these cables are minus of left speaker and minus of right speaker, which makes this device wrong. I'm not hearing sound here and sound here. I'm hearing in the middle of them a noise. This connection of 2 minuses into 1 is known as radiation, and is shown as this symbol, which exactly means what I said. Minus and minus becoming 1 minus, or in other direction. It is also appropriate to state 1 minus is becoming 2 minuses. Depends which process you considering at the moment. Either sound that comes to me, or the sound that I record, which goes from me. It's just 2 different directions, here and backwards, kind of from here. So that's the problem of stereo sound. People thinking they making by using it volumed sound. I mean a a sound that makes you feel in environment, kind of like something goes from here, you kinda feeling it, and other things. But this technology is wrong for this task. I will repeat that to make it so, this device must have two cables from one side, two cables from another side, and both of them is controlled separately. Like I make something maximum loud on one side and hear it here, and here I don't hear nothing because it is like not sounding at all. When I make here sounding something to something sounding, I start to hear it here, and that way I will feel this environmental effect. But to make it so, you as a engineer have no other options as to have 4 possibilities for your cables. So I hope I explained so that there cannot be a doubt after this explanation that stereo is wrong for a sound. It is for a video cameras. The usage of it everywhere in sound is a mistake of people, of scientists, of engineers who didn't understood such a simple thing as a lack of one cable in order to make 2 speakers working correctly.